Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get straight to the recap on this episode of WKW, starting off as always with Mr. Davis, who is being forced to try and make things fairly. So he actually comes out in a somewhat acted good mood, thanking the fans for coming. We got a great show. Announces Sky Slash will be the opening match again. And he goes to make another statement regarding the Rumble Roses pay-per-view over who might win and who will face either Bolo Reynolds or Cyrus, depending on choices. It's like a Royal Rumble. And Triple H comes out again, pretty much telling Mr. Davis, why are you nervous? If you get nervous again, I'm going to take over the show. And as punishment for your nervousness, I'm going to force Kyle Noble's manager, Paul Heyman, to wrestle a match against Larry. Which, I'm going to cross that bridge when I get there. Fuck. But he did say that Sky Slash was in the opening match, and his opponent was Red Oni. Now, this was actually a really, really good match. It never got too one-sided. Whenever Sky would get a bunch of momentum, Red Oni would find a way to shut it down, and vice versa. They're even trading signatures and finishers, reversing them, showing that Sky might have a little bit of ring rust still after not being out of the action for 10 months, but he's still got what it takes. One thing's for sure, front kicks won't work on Sky. I've seen him block every front kick that Red Oni was able to throw at him, even though Oni did something pretty cool and turned it into a backflip kick. Now, twice Red Oni went for Red Dragon. He hit it the first time. He couldn't hit it the second time. And then, when he went for a roundhouse, he completely missed. And Sky hit him with a running headbutt a la Ilya Dragunov, which to this day I don't think he's released a name for. 1, 2, 3, Sky Slash is 2-0 since his return. He's already got a pretty good amount of offense. I honestly wonder where he's going to go next, after his current, feud is over. I don't know. So the second match ended up being the Brizz with his MMA background taking on Tony Nese, the premier athlete. Now, Tony Nese, I'll say this. He tried his best, but the Brizz and his MMA style was just too much for him. The Brizz is just laying in power move after power move as if he was intentionally trying to get Tony Nese to vomit back up what he had for dinner earlier. But a cradle DDT from the Brizz would not be the end of Tony Nese. An Uranagi he calls the Brizz end would be. 1, 2, 3. The Brizz is your winner. Good on your momentum. Where are you going to go next? Let's find out soon. I hope. Now, Kyle Noble sans Paul Heyman because he was forced to be in a match. Had a rematch with Shelton Benjamin in an Extreme Rules match which meant weapons are legal. And for whatever reason, Kyle Noble just could not land a chair shot on Shelton Benjamin. He would keep either catching it or just one hand deflecting it. And there was a table that got set up, but it never really got into play. But Kyle Noble took a bitch way out to get the win by tripping up Shelton Benjamin so that the back of his head hit the chair, thus legitimately knocking him out. And then a Noble Knee 2.0 got the win. And in a wild, Sky Slash appeared, coming to Shelton Benjamin's aid for the second time, which means either he really has something against Kyle Noble, or he actually wants to help out Shelton Benjamin, even though he used to be confused with Charlie Haas for whatever reason. Well, Sky goes up, lands his flying neck breaker, and then hits his new finisher again, that spinning discus punch he calls Burn in the Fires of Pandemonium. Yes, thank you for that quote, Danganronpa. Anyway, wow. I really think this is either going to lead to a pay-per-view match between Sky and Noble, or this is going to be a way to write Noble off for the time being. Till when, I'm not sure. Now the fourth match was Mustafa Ali, the current challenger for Cyrus's WKW title, taking on Mr. Anderson. Man, this was a pretty good match, even though Cyrus did make his way out to the commentary booth, which led to Mustafa Ali getting distracted for Anderson to knock him down and shove him into the stage apron. Now, it was honestly very good. Mustafa Ali hitting his slingshot jumping neckbreaker and even his 054. It wasn't enough to put away Mr. Anderson, because of course it isn't. But Mustafa got the win though, still. By a rare disqualification victory here in WKW. So Mr. Anderson, after laying out Mustafa Ali, went to the ring apron, took out a baseball bat, and clobbered Mustafa right in the ankle. Ow. That had to have hurt. I mean, don't mind me, like, I'm no in-ring competitor, but my feet hurt just looking at that. Anyway, Mustafa wins by disqualification. That's not how he wanted to do it, but a win is still a win. Now the fifth match, oh boy, the fifth match. This was the Paul Heyman versus Larry the Lobster match we were talking about. And since Paul Heyman in real life and here is not a wrestler, just a manager, it was about as one-sided as you expect. But can we just take a moment to not ignore that Paul Heyman did a backflip to get hit with a German suplex? I mean, come on. You ever see a man that size do a full backflip land on the face? I mean, I sure haven't. But Larry Lobster just got him with a fake-out knockout punch to knock out Paul Heyman. 1, 2, 3. Larry Lobster wins. And then of all people, Shattuck comes out to sarcastically congratulate Larry. He's like, hey, thanks, Larry. Wow, you beat up an old man. Do you feel happy about yourself? And who knows? This could kick off a Larry versus Shattuck feud. And if it does, honestly, that's what I'd like to see. It would help turn Larry around. Now, MCon came out without Diamond Knight. No, you're probably thinking that this is a breakup. No, nowhere even close. Is MCon pretty much telling every wrestler in the back and every audience member, but especially Vertigo of the Lucha Liberation, 2 words. You suck. Now, MCon had a plan in a moment. He was trying to verbally persuade Vertigo to leave the Lucha Liberation. We're going to have to see how that goes, because that immediately goes to our next match, which was the Amazing Diamonds going up against Vertigo and El Peligro of the Lucha Liberation. Now, during this match, I noticed one thing. El Peligro must have thought he can take on both of them by himself, because Vertigo was not tagged in even once. And, well, he tried to hold his own, but this went about as well as you'd expect. A diamond spear into a diamond cutter onto a badly beaten El Peligro. 1, 2, 3. Vertigo didn't even try to get inside the ring to help out El Peligro when he was getting pinned. And then after the match, Vertigo's like, hey, man, what the fuck? I thought you had it. No, you should have had my back. And El Peligro shoves Vertigo and walks off, which, who knows? Maybe MCon's mind games indeed got to Vertigo. Maybe one half of Lucha Liberation will be no more. Fuck. That brings us to the main event of the evening, which was Skullmageddon, your current WKW King of the Wolves champion, in a non-title match against... I appear to have momentarily forgotten. Oh yeah, Jay Porter. How could I have forgotten? And this is a pretty good non-title match. Jay Porter is always being resilient as he can. Skullmageddon doing whatever he could to try and get the pin. Many times it wouldn't work. However, eventually after a few failed moves from Jay Porter, especially the portable driver, Skullmageddon would hit his final finishing move. Hold on. Actually, I don't think he even hit a full finisher. He just simply hit what looks like a deep 6, aka the skull driver. 1, 2, 3. Skullfist got to win in a non-title match, which means, sorry, Jay Porter, I don't think you're going to be a competitor for his title just yet. You could be in some future moment, but for right now, unfortunately, you're not. Skull has no challengers for Rumble Rizzes. Well, that's my recap for this episode of WKW. What did you guys think? Please let us know in the comments down below. Until then, this is Icy Hot Jacob Scott saying feel the fire, fear the cold. Most importantly, have a good night.